Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, July the 27th, 2023. Grace and peace to everybody who is in right now. As you guys come in, you guys know what to do. Go ahead and hit that like button and also share this video. All right, so look like we got rebuke and reprove up in here first. He says, I'm first, but Jesus is the first and the last. Amen. We also got Steve Rankins up in here. Good morning. Good morning. Grace and peace to you. Grace and peace to Sister Tyra Rice. For some reason, Sister Tyra Rice, she never seems to catch the live videos on Sunday nights, but she's up early for these. So, maybe I do need to keep going live early in the morning so my sister Tyra Rice can be up in here. All right. Good to see you. We also have Sister Christy Thomas up in here. We got Atlanta since 82. And let me go back up. And then we have my sister Nicole up in the house. Grace and peace. Grace and peace. She says she's old. Yeah, I'm old too. Good morning. Good morning. We also have Doris Smith up in the house. All right. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and get into this particular article. I was reading this last night, and if you guys saw, I had about 3 topics that I wanted to cover, but I wasn't sure which article I wanted to bring out this morning. So I said, man, let me go ahead and ask you guys because all 3 of those articles that I read they were pretty fitting for this morning. I said, man, I can't do all 3 because I'll be on a live for like 2 hours, and I can't do that. I really can't do that in the morning. I can give y'all 30 minutes. I can give y'all 30 minutes. But um, I'm gonna ask a quick question in the chat, and I want to know, uh, how do you educate your children, or what is your children's education, or yeah, what is your children's? I should have done this before I started the live. I didn't think about it until now. Let me see. Let's see if you guys have children that are going to public schools, because we're going to be having a brief conversation about this stuff this morning, you know, or do you guys homeschool like me, or do you guys have private school? All right, so let's get ready to start that up, and I want to see what you guys got to say about that. Christy Thomas says that she's going to be homeschooling this year. Oh yeah, amen, amen. Um, because I actually homeschool my children. So we started that maybe about going on 10 years now. Wow. Going on 10 years. Tyra Rice says she has no children. All right. Well, you never know. You might be blessed. You might get blessed this year. You know, the year ain't up yet. Anyway, listen, we just talked about trafficking. We just talked about human trafficking and child trafficking on my live stream Sunday. And the reason why we were talking about those things is because I say now is the time that you really, really have to keep an eye on your children. You got to, because this trafficking thing is is really becoming more and more prevalent in our society. And I mean, it's getting to the point to where you can't even really trust the teachers at the school anymore. And I mean, even when I was going to school, you still had to watch certain teachers and watch certain people. But now it seems like that I see so many of these stories, so many of these articles and videos and newscasts about some of these teachers who are involved in helping to traffic children. And this is why man, it irks me whenever I hear people, especially around this time when kids are getting ready to go back to school, and I'm hearing a lot of these parents saying, "Well, I can't wait to send these kids back to school because man, they got on my nerves all summer." And I'm like, "What? Like, what are you talking about? Like, these are your children. Why would you have such a desire to send them off to somebody else? You know?" But hopefully, after we read this particular article, and as we continue to cover subjects like these, you guys will change. Some of you, I ain't talking about y'all in particular, but hopefully some people will change their minds. Good morning, Elizabeth. Good morning. Good morning. All right, here's the title of the article. It says two teachers arrested on the same day on suspicion of child trafficking, other charges. All right, and this is one of the guys right here. Looks like a pretty young guy. Looks younger than me. He definitely don't have as much grades as I do. Maybe he dyed it. Some of y'all be old and grayed up, salt and peppers, but y'all know how to mix those mix that dye up real good. So therefore by the time you put it on your beard, you look real natural. All right. Teachers from two different Texas school districts were arrested on the same day on sex trafficking charges involving children. Gershon Caston, 38. He's not that much younger than me. I mean, I'm 40. He's only 38. A coach and teacher at Red Oak ISD just outside Dallas was arrested on July 20th and charged with aggravated sexual assault of a child trafficking, and other charges, according to Dallas County booking records. Wow. And this is a teacher. We're not talking about the creepy old guy who lives down the street. This is a 38-year-old guy. And let's take a look at him. And I mean, here's the thing. He's not a bad looking guy. You know, he's not a bad looking guy. I don't think that he would have a problem, finding a woman. But this is why you have to. This is why you have to keep an eye on your children. Know who they are involved with. Some of y'all need to start going back to these school board meetings and getting familiar with the staff there. Casson and three other suspects were arrested by police in a joint investigation in connection with the sex trafficking of a minor, and the city of Dallas police said. According to investigators, the alleged crimes occurred in June and July. No additional information about the victim was provided. Following Caston's arrest, Red Oak ISD, which is ROISD, Superintendent Brenda Statford offered her prayers for the victim and the family. "I pray for her healing and that she is receiving the services she needs for recovery," Sanford said in a statement. According to Sanford, while the charges against Caston were, quote, all non-ROISD related, the district Monday approved the recommendation to suspend Caston without pay and send him a notice of proposed termination. She also said the district was, quote, moving swiftly through due process to terminate his employment and file the appropriate actions against him with the Texas Education Agency, TEA, and State Board for Educator Certification, SBEC, end quote. Sanford said Caston was cleared for hire in May following a background check and was set to begin work in August. Wow. So this guy, that is crazy. I'm thinking that this guy has been a teacher for a while. She was like, man, this guy he was cleared in May, which was like a couple of months ago. And he was supposed to start work in August, around the time that school started. So it seems like that this particular guy was not actively teaching, but he was probably going to start this school year, which was next month. Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think kids start school next week as I'm doing this video. Because right now it's July 27th, so I think that kids were set to start school. When was that? August 1st or something like that, if that. Where my public school people at? Let me know. Let me know. Well, I mean, I think it varies from county to county, city to city, and state to state. So I'm looking at the poll here. It says that 67% of you have your kids in public school, and only 33% of you are homeschooling your children. All right, let's continue to read. Quote, as an incoming coach, he was asked to assist with summer strength and conditioning camps, and he did so without incident. End quote. Prior to his hiring at Red Oak Middle School, Casson worked for 3 other Texas school districts, according to CBS News. Casson, a former basketball player at New Mexico State, also previously worked as a youth basketball coach. Casson is being held in Dallas County Jail on a $450,000 bond. Same day Casson was arrested, Analia, I think that's how you spell it, probably Annalee Andrews, 24, was also arrested and charged with a dozen felonies, including 3 counts of trafficking a child to engage in sexual conduct and 3 counts of sexual assault on a child. Jeez. I wonder if this is her right here. This is her. Okay. The former teacher at, man, I don't even know. I'm going to butcher this name. Nacogdoches ISD or NISD in East Texas was arrested following reports of an alleged student-teacher relationship, according to a district statement. And this is something that you're starting to see a lot more as well. You're starting to see a lot of these women getting caught up into this stuff too. You know, I remember back in the day, I mean, if a woman was caught engaging with a minor at school, I mean, this was like, what do you call it? Like, 60 Minutes or something, you know? They showed that. That was like prime time news. But I guess it's becoming so common now. I mean, you might not even hear about each and every case. Man, just the world that we're living in nowadays. Upon learning of the alleged relationship on July 19th, officials contacted NISD police. And here's the thing. It is not the little boys that you have to worry about with these female teachers. I mean, I've read reports of female teachers with some of these people daughters, and as I've heard about the male teachers with some people's sons, with little boys. I mean, this is why this is why I'm so against teaching sexual education in classrooms. This is where I give a big kudos to Governor Ron DeSantis. I don't care what people say about him, but people like him, and I think Greg Abbott of Texas, when they say, hey, we don't think that some of these young kids should be learning some of these things in school, this is where I totally agree. I don't want some adult teacher teaching my kids how to pleasure themselves or how to receive pleasure or even give pleasure to anyone else sexually. Classroom is not the place from that for that, especially with all of these issues that we're having right now with these teachers. Yeah, I agree with rebuke and reprove. He says this is more common among females teachers than what we think. You know, yeah, I agree. They've shown it so much; it's pretty much desensitized in society. That's why I believe when people be trying to add certain sexual agendas in school, that's why I say, man, it's I believe that there's an agenda going on. I really do. And as parents, we got to continue to stay on top of this. Andrews, who officials said resigned earlier in July, quote, before the allegation came to light, end quote, is no longer employed by NISD. Quote, the district appreciates those who brought the information forward and encourages continue reporting by others when a concern exists regarding the health or safety of our NISD student population, end quote, the statement added. The box office success of the film, quote, Sound of Freedom, has renewed a national spotlight on the plight of human trafficking, which has an estimated global profit of $150 billion each year, making it, quote, the most lucrative crime after drug trafficking, end quote. And listen, we talked about that Sunday. We talked about that Sunday of how people are basically blasting the movie. They're saying, "Oh, don't go watch it. You know, this is some old conspiracy theory thing." And what did one person say from CNN saying that um, this movie is for dads with brain worms or something? You know, trying to basically downplay the movie to say, "Oh, don't go watch a movie talking about child sex trafficking." You know, and the guy who was actually saving these children went on went on Fox News. I played a clip on that Sunday where the guy said that if you think that this is a conspiracy, let you talk to some of these people who are adults now who I personally saved when they were traffic ass kids, and I want you to tell them to their face that they are a part of this big conspiracy. Man, Free Church says, I have to be honest, in college, the promiscuous girls were concentrated in early childhood education studies. And yes, you guys go ahead and hit that like button. Yeah, Atlanta says, look how they're calling out Oprah. Yeah, and we covered that too. We covered that in the same live stream about how Oprah's quote unquote spiritual advisor, God of John, has been charged. And I think he's serving 99 years now. I think he just got sentenced to 99 years because he's helped trafficked over 600 women and girls and kids all collectively. I mean, I'm talking about, man, they were taking babies and selling them. And rumor had it, rumor had it was that they had these quote unquote farms where they would basically force these women to have children. And once these women had children for like 10 years or so, they would take the woman and they would just get rid of them, you know. And I mean, just I'm like, how evil is that? Now, allegedly, because but that's what some of the reports that I've read. I mean, it's some sick stuff. It's some sick stuff. Uh Rebuke says they want us to go see Barbie or 67-year-old Indiana Jones instead. And actually, that movie, The Sound of Freedom, actually did way better than both of those movies. And I think Indiana Jones opened the same day as The Sound of Freedom, and The Sound of Freedom did way better than Indiana Jones at opening day at the box office. So, shoot, I keep forgetting. I think I need to go see that. Me and the family need to go see that, but I don't know how much longer it's going to be at the I don't know how much longer it's going to be at the theaters. All right, let's go ahead and read this last line. In 2022, there were 15,159 prosecutions worldwide for trafficking. Yet these culminated in only 5,577 convictions. In the United States specifically, the National Human Trafficking Hotline received over 10,000 reports regarding 16,554 victims throughout 2021. And that is the end of this particular article. Wow. Yep. Just like I've been saying, man, you guys have to please pay attention to your children. Please pay attention to what's going on. Don't get too comfortable out here. Don't. You even have to watch family members. I mean, some of y'all know that y'all had to watch certain people, certain family members. That's never been a secret. But nowadays, more than ever, you even got to watch your friends, the friends of your children. Because I was watching an interview one time, and I think it was from the guy Yako Booyans, who we talked about Sunday, and he was saying that even some of these kids would befriend your kids in order to help traffic them. I mean, it's especially with social media and kids on these phones and they're texting people and I don't know, man, just DMing all types of strangers and stuff. Like you really got to be on top of that. You really got to be on top of that nowadays. I mean, it's not like how I grew up where you went outside and you played and you just basically had to stay within sight of the neighborhood. You couldn't just be wandering miles and miles away, if you were like a kid. I mean, at certain times when I was a child, like I couldn't be out of my parents' sight. I had to be on the same street. And then once I got a little bit older, before we went somewhere, if I said that, hey, I was going to such and such house, you know, I had to make that known to my parents, like, hey, I'm going to such and such house and I'm going to be over there from this time to that time. And my mom and then we'll be like, well, make sure that you back at a certain time. Street lights. Be back home before the street lights come on. You know what I'm saying? Not before dark, before them street lights come on. Because even with daylight savings time, uh, you may be used to those street lights coming on at 7, 8 p.m., but daylight saving time, mugs hop on at 6. Make sure that you back. But nowadays, I mean, kids don't really go outside like that anymore. And they stay just cooped up in those rooms and cooped up in the house. And they're on the phones all day, texting and talking and interacting with people. And then when they finally want to go somewhere, you just be like, okay, well, yeah, go ahead and go. I mean, you've been in the house all week and you never know who they're going out to meet up with. That person that they've been DMing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth all month while they've been sitting in the house. Now okay, well, now I can go and meet this person, finally meet this person. Just like in the live stream that I covered Sunday. There was this girl and her dad went to a basketball game. She goes to the bathroom, meets this guy. Guy ends up taking her and trafficking her, takes her from Dallas, Texas, and takes her all the way to Oklahoma, where she's trafficked for about 10 days. And one of the cops just happened to be riding by in Oklahoma, saw her on the street, picked her up, and she had been trafficked. She had been trafficked for like 10 days. So please just be aware. Be aware. Anderson82 says the media talking against seeing the movie was great promotion for people to see the movie. Yeah, and I think that everyone who has saw that movie, The Sound of Freedom, if you guys haven't seen it, go and see it. they're not paying me to say that because I plan on seeing it as well. I think we have to be educated. We have to be educated. But yeah, everyone who I've heard that I've seen the movie, they said it was a pretty good movie. They liked it. I don't think that I've seen anyone or heard from anyone who have actually seen a movie and given like negative or bad feedback. The bad feedback has come from people who actually haven't seen the movie, and they're some of the people who are trying to push an agenda to sexualize these kids. So that's why we also have to watch the media outlets that we partake in. What are these people saying? You know, that's why some of these media outlets, when I look at stuff like CNN and MSNBC, I don't trust any one of them, even Fox News. That was one of the options before I actually went live this morning, that Fox News had been donating to the Satanic Temple. I was going to touch on that if everyone, if the votes would have fell in that direction, but I didn't. But we just got to get back to basic common sense. Basic common sense. All right, listen, guys, I'm about to get up out of here. Let me go ahead and check this poll before we get out. So, before I get up out of here, it says 69% of you have your children in public schools, 23% have your children homeschooled, and only 8% of you have your children in private school. All right. Yeah, Fox News is just as bad. So anyway, guys, I'm getting ready to get up out of here. And for those who have their children in private school and in public school, man, just be more aware. Be more aware of what your children are doing, and what they're involved in, and who their teachers are. All right, listen, as always, you guys know the drill. Like this video, rate it, share it, subscribe, hit that notification bell, so whenever I get ready to go live, you guys will be the first ones, like rebuke and reprove. Whenever I hit that live button, and whenever I upload a video, you guys will be the first ones to see it. And with that, you guys have a blessed day, and I will see you guys next time. Lord willing, peace.